Grace and Peace, Heart to Heart, encourages women from all stations of life and from every nook and cranny of our world from a biblical perspective.
Learning to be content. The more challenging our circumstances, the more difficult it is for us to be content. The children of Israel were restless during their hard trek across the wilderness, and their lack of contentment caused them to fall into sin. They complained that God was unfair to them. They murmured against the Lord, telling each other that he had forgotten them. We see this in both the books of Numbers and Deuteronomy. They created their own false god instead of worshiping the true God who had already shown them his wonder working power again and again and again. Lack of contentment can lead us into carnality. I was talking with a single parent the other day about all the demands she has to deal with in her life. She has a challenging job in an investment company, working for a highly competitive boss. He is a difficult man because of the company's demanding environment. And as far as he is concerned, everything is top priority. I probably don't have to tell you that he is also short in his composure. He has a very short fuse. This woman is not only working full time, but she is studying to be certified as a financial advisor. And as if that weren't enough, she faces the daily demands of a child with homework and school projects and extracurricular activities. This woman is committed to excellence, but she is nearly overwhelmed by her many responsibilities. Her question to me was fairly straightforward. What should I do? I cannot meet the demands, yet I have to work. I have to provide. Is there another way? There are several other ways, I told her. Let's take a look at them. First of all, could you live with less money? Could you find another job that pays less, requires less of you, and still gives you the benefits you now receive? Another question: is there any other profession you would like to do until your child is older? Maybe you could substitute teach so you could be with your child. There was a moment of silence on the line. Then the woman said, Um, no, none of that sounds especially appealing. Okay, I continued. Then maybe the Lord wants to stretch you for a reason that we can't see right now. Because it sounds like you need the income and benefits that this job offers. I went on to suggest that she evaluate all the extracurricular activities to see which of them could be done in some other year, during the summer, or cut out completely. I finally said, this season in your life seems to be work and more work, school and more school. I know it is sometimes unbearable, but God knows what He is doing, and maybe there are lessons to be learned. Then she explained that her desire was to work for a certain number of years, then take an extended vacation to Europe, buy a home, and open up her own financial investment firm. Well, I recommended that she take down the posters of Europe from her walls and hang up a scripture. The scripture is Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. I knew that if this woman continued to long for some future fantasy, if she persisted in fixing her eyes on the problems of today, she would crash and burn. It was important for her to look up, to turn her eyes upon Jesus, to trust him with the present, and to rely on him to provide her with a future that would bless her and her son. Let him tell you his plans. You don't need to tell him yours, I advised her. We prayed together. A few days later, I received a call saying that even in her despair, this hardworking woman had found a sense of peace. She still had her dreams, but they weren't standing in the way of her present satisfaction. She had discovered contentment. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with dreaming. Dreams are essential to our lives. If in the early days Tony and I had looked at our present reality to determine the future, it would have painted a bleak picture. We would have been miserable, feeling deprived and consumed with nothing but exhausting priorities and ceaseless responsibilities. But I was fortunate. Not only did I have the Lord, but I had Tony in my life. He was a light in a dark tunnel. He has always dreamed, and he has taught me to dream too, and to have hope for the future. Nowadays, we look back and marvel at what God's grace has done, and we are thankful as we continue to look to the future for even more of his grace. In every season of our lives, where there is life, there is always hope. No matter what the challenges, when God is in our dreams can't help but come true. Meanwhile, take it from me, it pays to hang around people who encourage you to be thankful in the present, even as you look to the future he has prepared. Beloved, what a wonderful, wonderful encouragement we get from our sister, Lois. Lois has gone to be with the Lord, but she left not only this particular writing, but a number of writings that do nothing but minister to the reader's heart. I am so grateful for this book. And although I am pausing here until we pick up again with the third reading, I just want you to reflect on what she has offered here in terms of learning to be content. I too will be reflecting on what she has shared again and again. And I'd like to end with repeating the fact that she shared in every season of our lives. Where there is life, there is always hope, no matter what the challenges. God is not only love, God is and brings us hope. May you find him sufficient in your life. God bless you.